Yeah, rivals, it's a dangerous guy because it's a boxing. One punch, go home. This is dangerous, man. I know, but.
So therefore, the only way, if anyone is to beat him, is by knockout. And this isn't Floyd Mayweather boxing at 147 pounds and probably being in the ring at 155, maybe something like that. This is Oleksandr Usyk.
Number 2 in these defenses.
Yeah.
Fury perceived number 1. AJ at the time 1. Dubois number 2. He's taken like, all right, who's the next in line? Right, I'm fighting him.
Yeah.
That's the way he's doing it.
In a live interview, Oleksandr Usyk took a cheeky yet pointed swipe at Floyd Mayweather, boldly claiming he's gone up against tougher challengers and come out on top. Flashing a sly grin, he quipped, "Even now, I've got better legs than him." The remark drew laughter, but it wasn't all in jest. Beneath the humor was a clear message. Usyk has faced elite-level competition and maintains a level of conditioning that still puts him ahead of the pack. It was classic Usyk lover, fearless and brimming with self-assurance.
Evening, hope you're enjoying our Monday night football coverage. Oleksandr Usyk, not a bad striker in his time. Thierry and Jamie are in studio. If you were fighting Thierry Henry, how would you get inside of his head?
Yeah, Thierry is great player, but hey, Thierry, my legs be better with you. Thierry, don't be afraid. My legs better.
What'd you make of that?
Sometimes you have to stay in your lane, and I will stay in my lane.
As Oleksandr Usyk approaches the final stretch of his remarkable career, only 2 fights remain before he hangs up the gloves for good. Each remaining bout now holds historic significance, with fans, analysts, and fellow fighters watching closely as a generational talent writes the closing chapters of his legacy. Usyk's place in boxing history is already secure, but the question of who will stand across from him next adds a charged sense of anticipation. These aren't just fights, they're moments destined to become part of the sports-rich tapestry. This isn't merely a farewell. It's the final act of one of boxing's most brilliant sagas.
From Usyk that he's got 2 more fights in the bag at this point, that you reckon, yeah?
I interviewed him before. I sat down with him and had a chat with him before the Dubois fight. And yeah, he was just like, I've got 2 fights left.
So he's never fought in the Ukraine, he's never fought in his home country, or defended his title, I should say. So that's got to be on his wish list.
I would imagine so, but with what's going on in this country, which is just a disgrace, it's still going on. That's not going to happen anytime soon.
Anytime soon, no. But hopefully we'll get some peace there, and then maybe you will get the chance
I'd love to, yeah. I'd love to see peace in his country and for him and his family. And that would be an amazing event.
As Oleksandr Usyk nears the final chapter of his storied career, the WBO has officially ordered a title defense against interim champion Joseph Parker. The announcement has sent a buzz through the boxing world, with both camps given 30 days to reach an agreement before the bout goes to a purse bid. Parker, riding high on the momentum of decisive victories over Deontay Wilder and Martin Buchtel, has re-established himself as a legitimate threat. His resurgence has drawn praise from legends like Lennox Lewis, while promoter Frank Warren is billing the matchup as a defining test of Usyk's enduring greatness. It's a high-stakes showdown between a living legend and a hungry...
My gut feeling is that Joseph Parker fights for the WBO belt, but he doesn't fight Oleksandr Usyk. He fights the next man up. I haven't got the list in front of me, so I don't know the rankings. So I guess if you're Joseph Parker, the question is, I mean, what is it you want? Ultimately, if you want a world title shot and you think you've been blackballed from getting a world title shot or pushed to the back, then, well, here it is. Here's your world title shot. You're going to fight for a world title, right? But if you're Joseph Parker, and I spoke to Andy Lee, it isn't just a case of fighting for a world title. You want to fight the number 1 for the world title, and that guy is Oleksandr Usyk. I would have given Joseph Parker the mic. And I would like Joseph Parker, because there's a mean side to Joseph Parker. I think everyone sees the friendly side. I've seen the mean side. And I wanted Joseph Parker to say, I want my shot. You've been ducking me. All these things might not be true, but do it. Sell it. The crowd would have gone a bit wild, right? Because I think a lot of the crowd want Joseph Parker to get his shot. But that's not what happened.
Rising star Jai Opetaia has openly set his sights on Oleksandr Usyk, seeking a matchup that transcends titles and rankings. For Opetaia, Usyk represents more than just the undisputed champion. He's the gold standard, a generational icon whose legacy has shaped and inspired the next wave of elite fighters, driven by both respect and ambition. Opetaia's clout signals his readiness to measure himself against the very pinnacle of the sport. A potential clash between the two would be more than a fight. would be a symbolic passing of the torch, uniting two eras of excellence in a momentous high-stakes encounter.
But Usyk, respectfully, I've always been so close to him. You know what I mean? Like I was, but I was 16 years old. I qualified for the Olympics. I competed at 17, little kid, and he won that Olympic Games. Like I've always been there. You know what I mean? I've always just been. It wasn't my time yet, but I feel like my time's coming.
Oleksandr. Usyk has crafted a legendary legacy by fearlessly pursuing the most dangerous opponents in the heavyweight division. Unlike many greats who tiptoed around serious threats after moving up in weight, Usyk went straight at them, embracing risk and rewriting expectations. His back-to-back wins over the previously unbeaten Tyson Fury stand as defining moments, showcasing his unmatched skill, strategy, and heart. Analysts now call his rise not just remarkable, but historic, elevating Usyk to the top tier of heavyweight greatness and possibly marking him as the most dominant force of this.
47 pounds and probably being in the ring at 155, maybe something like that. This is Oleksandr Usyk, who is fighting big men, sometimes giving up 40-pound weight advantages. And unfortunately, that does mean that if Oleksandr Usyk goes on for 4, 5, 6 more fights, of course, he is going to be defeated, in my opinion. But I would love that to not be the case. I would love it to not be the case. What I would love to be the case right now, as a boxing fan, is Oleksandr Usyk to walk off into the sunset. I think he's proven everything that he could possibly prove. And there's been debates, and especially I remember after the first few Joshua fights, there were debates over sort of Oleksandr Usyk's status compared to Evander Holyfield.
What elevates Oleksandr Usyk beyond champions and into the realm of legends isn't just his perfect record, it's the path he chose to get there. He didn't chase easy wins or avoid threats. He stepped into hostile arenas against bigger, stronger men and out-hot them all. With elite footwork, razor-sharp timing, and the mind of a master tactician, Usyk turned danger.
It's over sort of Oleksandr Usyk's status compared to Evander Holyfield. Listen, that argument, a lot of people wanted to rubbish that at first. That argument is a real argument that can be made now, because when you look at what Oleksandr Usyk's done, remember Evander Holyfield was in a cruiserweight division that I'm not going to say was in its infancy, but it wasn't, it wasn't the cruiserweight division that Oleksandr Usyk was in. The cruiserweight division that Oleksandr Usyk was in, I believe, was a more stacked, more competitive cruiserweight division. And the way Usyk left that division, he left it by cleaning it out. The World Boxing Super Series tournament was something that actually got the best fighting the best and got the best names coming into it and entering, and we weren't really seeing that at the time.